Diddy can't believe that he will be spending time alone in a jail cell. His bail was denied twice, and the music mogul is so devastated that he has been placed on suicide watch. But Diddy isn't the only one who's worried. Some of his ex-girlfriends, who participated in his crimes, are already preparing for prison life. Wait till you know why. Jennifer Lopez and Young Miami may be following Diddy to jail very soon. Their crimes will shock you. Diddy $50 million bail package rejected. Diddy doesn't want to spend a night in jail after his arrest. His lawyers proposed a massive bail package to secure his release. The package included a $50 million bail package co-signed by Mr. Diddy, his mother, and other family members, home detention, surrender of his passport, weekly drug test, and a visitor log that would be submitted to pretrial services each night. But that wasn't all. They also included his $48 million home in Miami, his private jet, and his kids' passports. He would also have restricted female visitors apart from his mother, his daughters, and his daughters. However, the judge revealed that he was concerned Diddy would obstruct justice and tamper with witnesses. It turns out the prosecution presented the judge with Diddy's old text where he seemed to be threatening his victims. One of the texts was from 2016 after a 2016 hotel incident where he was caught on camera assaulting ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura. "Call me, the cops are here, I got 6 kids. You please call. I'm surrounded, you going to abandon me all alone?" The text read. It turns out that the incident took place after a freak-off in 2016. He allegedly paid a hotel $50. 000 race hallway surveillance footage of an intoxicated Diddy throwing glass vases at Cassie when she tried to escape after he gave her a black eye, getting a hotel to break the law by deleting footage of a crime, only shows his immense power and control, leaving the judge no choice but to deny him bail. Now the Bad Boy Records executive is set to remain in jail until his trial starts, and his jail situation is not looking good. According to reports, the mogul's attorneys have requested that their client be transferred to a facility in Essex County in New Jersey, arguing he might be unsafe at the hands of other inmates in the Metropolitan Detention Center. The rapper's huge celebrity status and the allegations of violence against women make him a very attractive target for assault in the subculture of jails and prisons. Delivering a hit on someone like Diddy would be considered a badge of honor. This reality adds another layer of danger to his already precarious situation. The constant threat of violence and the need to remain vigilant at all times are new and terrifying aspects of Diddy's life, and now reports show that Diddy has now been placed on suicide watch, with insiders revealing it's because he is a high-profile inmate. However, there are reports that it could be because of the jail conditions. The infamous Metropolitan Detention Center, or the MDC, where Diddy is being held, has gained a notorious reputation for its deplorable conditions and the high-profile inmates who have been detained within its walls. Diddy's legal team has been vocal about the conditions at the Brooklyn facility and described the conditions as horrific and not fit for pretrial detention. The NDC has earned its name Hell on Earth due to the shocking conditions and harrowing experiences faced by its inmates. Upon arrival, he was processed and immediately placed in the Special Housing Unit, or SHU. Due to his high-profile status, the SHU is the most restrictive part of the entire facility. It's designed for inmates who require maximum security and isolation. Diddy's cell measures a mere 6 ft by 9 ft, a far cry from the spacious mansions he once called home. Inside, he has 2 metal bunk beds, a one-piece mattress with an attached pillow, a blanket, 1 uniform, and a limited amount of commissary. The cell also contains a steel toilet and sink combination and a small writing desk. One of the most shocking aspects of Diddy's confinement is the toilet, which is rigged to flush only thrice daily. This measure prevents prisoners from flooding their cells. In the entire facility in the SHU, Diddy is allowed out of his cell thrice a week for 1 hour daily. This brief respite is spent in a small enclosed yard where he can stretch his legs and get a glimpse of the outside world. But even this tiny freedom is heavily monitored and controlled. The jail itself is a nightmare. In 2019, a power outage left inmates without heat, light, or hot water for days during one of the coldest winters in recent memory. The temperature inside the cells reportedly dropped to near freezing levels, forcing inmates to wrap themselves head to toe in towels and blankets. The crisis came to a head with protesters gathering outside the facility, where inmates banged on the jail's walls and flashed nightlights, pleading for help. The power outage was not an isolated incident. Reports of rat infestations, mold, and lack of access to clean drinking water are common. Violence is another pervasive issue within MDC. Inmates live in constant fear of attacks from fellow detainees and even correctional officers. But even with all these deplorable conditions, there's wide agreement that Diddy deserves it, especially after his charges were made public. The music mogul was charged with racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
This indictment, announced by Damon Williams, the United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York, and William S. Walker, the acting special agent in charge of the New York Field Office of Homeland Security Investigations, paints a grim picture of a man who allegedly used his business empire to commit heinous crimes. According to the indictment, from 2008 to the present, Diddy led a criminal enterprise that engaged in sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. Diddy, who appeared in a New York City federal courtroom wearing a black t-shirt and gray sweatpants, pleaded not guilty to all charges, but the details of the indictment are nothing short of shocking. The indictment describes a criminal enterprise led by Diddy that exists to facilitate his abuse and exploitation of women, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. One of the most shocking aspects of the indictment is the allegation that Diddy organized events known as freak-offs. These were elaborate sex performances that involved frequent days-long sexual activity with male commercial sex workers, some of whom were transported over state lines. Diddy allegedly used violence and intimidation to ensure participation in these events, leveraging his power over victims by distributing narcotics, exploiting his financial support, and threatening to cut off that support. He also threatened to expose embarrassing and sensitive recordings of these events if the women did not comply with his demands. The indictment also details repeated physical abuse by Diddy. He allegedly assaulted women by striking, punching, dragging, throwing objects at, and kicking them. These assaults often resulted in injuries that took days or weeks to heal. Diddy also allegedly assaulted witnesses to his abuse, further demonstrating his willingness to use violence to maintain control. Diddy relied on his power as a business empire leader to commit these crimes. Employees of City's businesses, including high-ranking supervisors, security staff, personal assistants, and household staff, acted as intermediaries to arrange travel and hotel rooms, stock the hotel rooms for Diddy's commercial sex activity, contact or locate women and other individuals he targeted for abuse, and conceal and cover up the abuse. This criminal concealment included efforts to prevent law enforcement from learning about his abuse. Diddy is charged with 1 count of racketeering conspiracy, which carries a maximum sentence of life in prison, 1 count of sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, which carries a maximum sentence of life in prison, and a mandatory minimum sentence of 15 years in prison, and 1 count of transportation for purposes of prostitution, which carries a maximum sentence of 10 years in prison. And it seems the music mogul won't be going down alone. His industry buddies, from Jay-Z to Jennifer Lopez, may be next on the chopping block. Celebrities joining Diddy. Diddy's associates are scrambling to clear their names after the music mogul was arrested. Their crimes are surfacing, and it might not take long for them to join Diddy in jail. One of them is Young Miami. Diddy and Young Miami, whose real name is Caresha Romeo Brownlee, were once one of the most talked about couples in the hip-hop world after publicly confirming their romance on Young Miami's podcast Caresha Please. Young Miami, a member of the rap duo City Girls, has made a name for herself in the music industry. Her relationship with Diddy only added to her star power. However, by April 2023, Young Miami announced that she was single, although she maintained that she and Diddy were still good friends. And when Diddy's ex-girlfriend and Cassie Ventura went public with damning allegations against Young Miami's ex, she was quick to defend him. According to her, that wasn't her experience with Diddy. I can't speak on something that wasn't my experience. I can't speak on something that I don't know. I can't speak on these allegations because I wasn't around at the time. I don't know that person, and that wasn't my experience. I met Diddy when the world was celebrating him and giving him his flowers. I just feel like everybody is trying to crucify me for it, like you was his biggest advocate, you was his cheerleader. But I was just celebrating him with the world, so why am I being crucified? Why am I being separated? Young Miami said it turns out that Young Miami was an accomplice in Diddy's crimes. This was revealed on March 28, 2024, after a bombshell lawsuit was filed against Diddy by Lil Rod, the lawsuit seeking $30 million in damages, accused Diddy of a series of shocking allegations, including drug trafficking and sex work. One of the most sensational claims in the lawsuit was that Young Miami had transported a dangerous synthetic drug known as pink cocaine for Diddy. According to the lawsuit, the incident occurred in April 2023. Diddy was attending the Water Music Festival in Virginia and wanted to have pink cocaine, also known as Tusi, at the event. However, his usual supplier, Brendan Paul, had forgotten to bring the drug. In a desperate move, Diddy's chief of staff, Christina Coram, allegedly called Young Miami and asked her to transport the drug from Miami, Florida to Virginia on a private jet. The lawsuit claims that Young Miami complied with the request and brought the pink cocaine on the private jet. The drug, a bright pink synthetic concoction, is made from cheaper substances like ketamine, molly, caffeine, and opioids. Lil Rod also revealed that he witnessed Diddy doing a few lines of the pink cocaine in his dressing room at the festival. That wasn't the only time she was mentioned in the lawsuit. Lil Rod also accused her female cousin of sexual harassment. Lil Rod claims that the female cousin once tried to have sex with him in front of Diddy, an incident that left him feeling violated and powerless. Young Miami isn't the only one of Diddy's ex-lovers mentioned in the lawsuit. Jennifer Lopez's name appears along one of the most shocking allegations for many. The 1999 club shooting involving Diddy and his then-girlfriend J.Lo was settled as Diddy was not found guilty of anything. However, the new Lil Rod lawsuit paints a different picture. Turns of Shine, Diddy's 19-year-old rap protege, was unfairly sentenced and J.Lo covered for Diddy. According to Lil Rod's lawsuit, Diddy bragged about the shooting and how he got away with it, saying Mr. Calm shared that he was responsible for the shooting in the nightclub in New York City with rapper Shine. He shared that artist and Mr. Calm's girlfriend at the time, Jennifer Lopez aka JL, carried the gun into the club for him and passed him the gun after he got into an altercation. So what exactly happened that night? And how did Diddy get away with it? On December 27, 1999, Diddy and his then-girlfriend Jennifer Lopez had been celebrating a soon-to-be-released album by Shine, Diddy's 21-year-old protege, at Midtown's Club, New York. As Diddy's entourage was leaving, Diddy accidentally bumped into Matthew Allen, a street tough known as Scar, who responded with a shove. Things escalated as one of Allen's companions allegedly threw a stack of money in Diddy's face. Suddenly, gunshots shattered the air as bullets struck two men and a woman. The woman shot in the face was rushed to hospital. Cops were called to the scene, and Diddy and J.Lo were detained after a gun was found in their car. As they left the nightclub, the vehicle was stopped after it fled the scene and jumped a set of red lights. The gun was found lying in the car and was identified as one that had been reported stolen in Georgia, and none of the four occupants of the car had a license for the gun. The couple were both charged with criminal possession of stolen property. Police arrested and questioned the couple after eyewitness claims that Combs fired a gun after a dispute at Club New York. Shine was also arrested and charged with criminal possession of a firearm. However, in 2001, a Manhattan jury acquitted the hip-hop mogul of all charges brought against him, including 4 counts of illegal possession of a gun and 1 count of bribery. But this is where the story gets a little more interesting. Diddy's protege Shine was found guilty of 5 of the 8 charges against him. Rapper Shine has also maintained that Diddy threw him under the bus. According to Shine, Diddy's legal team called a witness to the stand to testify against him. Diddy has long insisted that he didn't throw Shine under the bus, despite a mountain of evidence to the opposite. The witness that Shine was referring to was Shearis Myers, a bar bouncer. According to Myers, when the shooting started, she fell on top of Diddy, and the music mogul didn't have a gun with him at the club. However, what she said next put the final nail in Shine's coffin. Additionally, he went above and beyond to exonerate J.Lo because she had covered for him. And even now, decades later, Shine continues to claim that Diddy set him up and had him sent to prison. As it happens, even the woman who was wounded in the face has spent years trying to convince people that the music mogul shot her. There's rumor that the case could be reinvestigated and J.Lo must be shaking in her boots. But while some celebrities are scared to even associate with Diddy at the moment, others have tried to defend him. Celebrities defending Diddy. Not everyone condemns Diddy, and one man with nothing to lose has come to his defense. R. Kelly. Diddy and R. Kelly have a lot in common. When the Bad Boy Records founder was arrested, R. Kelly became a trending topic, with Nens believing Diddy would soon join Kelly in jail. Long before Diddy was in handcuffs, R. Kelly had weighed in on the allegations against the rapper. And according to him, he didn't believe the sex trafficking allegations against Diddy. I don't believe none of this __. You could tell me about Puffy, you could tell me about anybody, you tell me on the news the weather, the sky is blue. I'm not going to believe the ___ cause I'm in it now, and I know what they did. R. Kelly said in an interview from jail. R. Kelly may be defending Diddy because they have committed similar crimes against women, from sex trafficking charges to prostitution charges. The story of R. Kelly's alleged predatory behavior begins in the early 1990s. At the time, his star was rising, and his influence in the music industry was growing. However, behind the scenes, troubling allegations were already beginning to surface. 1994 marked a significant and controversial moment in R. Kelly's life. At 27, Kelly secretly married 15-year-old singer Aaliyah, a ceremony that took place in Chicago, and the marriage was shrouded in secrecy. It was later uncovered that Aaliyah had lied about her age on the wedding certificate, listing herself as 18, leading to the marriage being annulled in February 1995. But the scandal stained Kelly's reputation. The marriage to Aaliyah was just the beginning of a series of allegations and lawsuits that would plague Kelly throughout his career. In 1996, Tiffany Hawkins sued R. Kelly and claimed that she began sleeping with Kelly in 1991 when she was 15 and he was 24. In 2001, Tracy Sampson, a former intern at Epic Records, sued Kelly, accusing him of inducing her into an indecent sexual relationship when she was 17. In April and May of 2002, Kelly was sued by Patri Jones, a Chicago woman who claimed he impregnated her when she was underage and forced her to have an abortion around the same time. Montina Woods also sued Kelly, alleging that he videotaped them having sex without her knowledge. The recording was allegedly circulated on a sex tape sold by bootleggers. Diddy has also found himself caught up in allegations of sexual misconduct with minors. One of the lawsuits hanging above Diddy's head alleges that the music mogul, along with former Bad Boy Entertainment president Harve Pierre, engaged in gang rape against an unnamed Jane Doe when she was just a 17-year-old high school student. According to court documents obtained by media outlets, the plaintiff Jane Doe claims that the incident occurred in 2003. She alleges that Harve Pierre approached her at a lounge in Michigan, claiming to be best friends with Diddy. To prove their relationship, Pierre called Diddy, and the woman alleges that Pierre and Diddy convinced her to take a private jet to Daddy's house recording studio owned and operated by Diddy himself. The lawsuit includes photos that Jane Doe claims were taken at the studio that night, including one showing her sitting on Diddy's lap. According to the lawsuit, once at the studio, Diddy, Pierre, and an unidentified third assailant paid Jane Doe with drugs and alcohol. They then allegedly subjected her to gang rape. One other celebrity with a similar questionable past and has been defending Diddy is radio host Charlamagne. According to the radio host, the allegations surrounding Diddy were conspiracy theories. However, since Diddy's secrets are now public knowledge, people are starting to delve into Charlamagne's background, which is similar to Diddy's. It turns out that the radio host has been accused of drugging and molesting a lady at a party.